The Lopen gained new respect for the Thaylen sailors as the ship breached the storm around Akina. He'd heard them talk about terrifying experiences, heard the fear in their voices. But damnation, he felt something 10 times worse as the Wandersail headed into the strange storm.
Hey, Lopen. This was a bad idea, mancha.
It was strange to see the ship stripped of most of its sails, like a skeleton without the flesh. But this ship, sure, was special. Fabrial pumps would supposedly keep it bailed, no matter how much water washed onto the deck. And there were stabilizers that used attractor fabrials. Those would shift weights around in the hull. Crazy, that stuff was built inside the hull, and keep the ship from capsizing. The captain stood firm and shouted her orders into the wind, sending them straight into the gullet of the beast. And by the halls themselves, if the sailors didn't take it with determination and grit. Storms, it was an incredible view. The lightning made the water seem to spark, transparent, and huge froths of it surged into the air. A storm on land was a sight to behold, sure, but a storm on the waters, this was majestic, also horrifying.
This is amazing!
3 other men stood at the ready to help Blixen, the day's helmsman, wrestle the wheel to control the rudder. That was common on ordinary ships, but this one had some kind of mechanism to help the helmsman, and so it might not be needed.
You haven't seen anything! We've trained to sail into high storms on this ship if we have to. I've actually been through one! Waves as high as mountains, Lopen!
He was bald like Huyo, which made his eyebrows look extra amusing to Lopen, particularly wet as they were.
You haven't seen anything. I was once in a place where Everstorm and Highstorm met, and in that the rock flowed like water, and sure, entire chunks broke like waves against one another. I had to run up one side and slide down the other, ruin my storming trousers.
Enough. I don't have time for you two to compare sizes. Blixen, 1 point to port.
The captain eyed Lopen, and he gave her a salute, because they were on her ship, and here she outranked even the people who outranked her. But he got the feeling that the captain was the kind of person who had been born an officer, coming right on out of her mom with a hat on and everything. People like that didn't understand. Bragging wasn't about making yourself look good, but about convincing the other guy you weren't afraid, which was completely different. Lopen lost his footing, but clung onto the ship's aft rail and grinned, sopping wet at Blixen when he glanced over. He righted himself with effort and thought about Blixen's words. How could waves get bigger than these? They sailed up to the side of one that Lopen could have sworn was too steep to ride. Then they went crashing through the top like Punyo through a crowd on his way to the privy after a night of drinking. Then, in an instant, Turlm got caught in an unexpected wave and washed clean off the deck, into the drink, the dark abyss, to be claimed by the seas and strangled with water. Well, couldn't have that. Lopen burst alight and leapt over the rail, lashing himself toward the water.